Jameson.
Never in my life associated the word boring with baseball.
We know what's up.
Me?
Yeah.
Famous? Yeah.
And I'm like giddy over there smiling like, we're about to win this shit.
Did everyone give you crap? Give me a good host story.
I'm not picking it up.
We both love the game.
We talk about it every day.
Get on baseball.
Having some popcorn, you're fooling around your phone.
I'd have to wait in line for 3 hours.
Hang on, because it's about to be a wild ride.
All right, there's no human being on the planet I'd rather be talking to right now more than Jameson Taillon. So thank you, my friend, for jumping on. I would say you're in a bullpen, but as you just explained to me, you're also in a bullpen / bar. Post Malone, thanks to Post Malone, right? Correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So I'm here at Wrigley. This is our home bullpen, and I guess when we were out of town, he was here, and they turned this into a bar. So we got back and. It smells a little bit like some spilled booze, but it's all good. We can still do our work in here.
Put that on the T-shirt. It smells like a little bit like booze, but it's all right. We can still get our work in.
We can still do our job. It's all good.
I mean, this is. I think there's something to say for life, that statement. So, Jameson, we met for about 5 seconds once. I gave you a sticker as they were kicking me out of the clubhouse in spring training last year, and I don't expect you to remember it, but I like to take all credit for whatever success you have by giving you that sticker. So congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. I remember getting the sticker, and I put it on my coffee maker, or on my grinder, my coffee grinder. Coffee is a big part of my daily routine, and I put it on my spring training grinder that day. So I do remember.
And the coffee tasted different immediately, didn't it?
Yep. My life's just been a lot better ever since that moment.
By the way, so I noticed, and our good friend Adam Ottavino has helped coordinate this whole podcast. When was the first time that you were called your nickname?
So when I was a kid, I'm the youngest of 4, and I think my siblings just thought my name was a little too serious, a little too formal. So I don't even remember when I started getting called JMO. My sister started calling me JMO when I was like a baby, and all my siblings. So it's kind of just honestly something I was like born into, I guess. Like I was such a baby when they started calling me that. So it's just stuck for a really long time. I've got just a few people in my life that even call me Jameson anymore.
It's a good name. It's like, honestly, we're thinking of getting a dog. I might name the dog after you. I mean, this is like this, and that sounded terribly. That sounded terrible. That was actually a compliment. Yeah, I was trying to give you a compliment. Yeah.
No, I would love that, and I definitely appreciate my name Jameson as I've gotten older. I'm very into whiskey, so I've gotten some free shots out of it once I tell people at restaurants and stuff my name. And just like. When I was a kid, I did think it was a little formal, and as I've gotten older, I've grown to appreciate it.
What is your middle name?
Lee. Jameson Lee.
Let's see. I feel like if you wanted to ever pen a article or a book or a dissertation, you would have to say Jameson Lee. Like that would have to be it, right?
And I don't read much, but maybe I should try my hand at writing.
Okay. Immediately it becomes I say this, James, or I don't even know, like what do you want me to call you? Like, do you want to call it
you pick Jameson, okay. JMO? It's literally dealer's choice.
All right, Jay. My middle name is Farnsworth. So I always said I would be appreciably richer / better, more respected if I did either R. Farnsworth Bradford or Robert Farnsworth Bradford.
Sounds very much like an old school military name.
Right. Instead, I've defaulted to a social media account named Bradfo. So, but like JMO Bradfo, here we go.
Here we go.
It sounds like a podcast is born. All right. So I want to congratulate you on all your success. I also want to congratulate you on throwing the most first pitch strikes in the history of baseball.
So it's funny because we actually, our pitching coach prints out like a stat sheet with a ranking and a leaderboard. It has like team stats and then individual stats. So like, where do the Cubs rank in first pitch strikes, quick outs, whatever, where you're executing your stuff, location. On the individual stats, I like to see where I am on first pitch strikes. And for a little while, Colin Ray had me. And then recently, Drew Pomeranz has been up there with me. So it's like fun to just track. But that is something that, especially as I've gotten older, like, pitching coaches hammered into your head at a young age, like the value of being 0-1 versus 1-0. And I think in 0-1 counts, hitters are like below replacement level, 500 OPS, let's say. And then in 1-0 counts, they're like Shohei Ohtani, Barry Bonds, Aaron Judge. They're 1,000 OPS guys. So it's like just by throwing that first pitch strike, it can shift the at bat that much. And then for us here at Wrigley, like if the wind's blowing in, I want to throw first pitch strikes all day. And even if it's blown out, like with our defense, with Pete Crow-Armstrong in center, we got Tuck and Hap surrounding him, Dansby and Nico up the middle. Like I want to let you hit it and see what happens.
Well, the reason why I like to say that I'm on top of this stuff, but I'm just randomly on top of it sometimes. The reason I even looked it up was because one of my favorite topics of guys who played in Tampa, and I just had on Zach Eflin, so he played in Tampa. Yep. So we keep talking because the guys in Tampa said, listen, there's no secret sauce, man. It's just throw the ball over the plate. And so I was talking to Zach about that, and he's like, yeah, but I'm having a hard time doing it. I'm like, well, how can you have a hard time doing it? It's so simple, right? And it seems so simple, but at the same time, we're all here, but you're doing it really well. I want to know how you're doing it so well.
It's funny that you talked to Zach Eflin because he's actually a guy that me and him have some similarities stuff-wise. Like he's got great command. I really enjoy watching him, how he uses his two different fastballs and his cutter off of that and his sweeper. So when I'm watching video, if he's faced the team recently, I actually like to see how he attacks a team. But it's funny. Like I was tight with Tyler Glasnow. He goes to Tampa. And I'm like, dude, what's in the water down there? What are they telling you? What's the pitching coach like? He's like, they give you a lot of confidence because they tell you why you're good and why they think you could be really good. And then they tell you to throw strikes. It's like, oh, I mean, it's super simple. But, up here, like you can psych yourself out. You can get paralysis by analysis. You can look at information all day and be like, oh, man, this guy hits this against first pitch cutters. And it's like, yeah, but if you execute it down and away, no one's really doing well on that pitch. So, as I've gotten older, like I don't throw 96, 97 anymore. I'm more in that 92, 93 range. Like I know that I need to do the little things well. I can't give up free passes and I have to get ahead. And for me too, like because I throw so many pitches, I have the, like if you're a 2-pitch guy, saying throw it middle, unless you throw 100 is going to be hard. Throwing 6 pitches, I can sequence it and say, well, one at bat I threw him a cutter away, and the next at bat I threw him a sinker in. So while they both look like they're over the heart of the plate, they have very different kind of attack angles and stuff. So I can kind of protect my stuff in the zone by just throwing a bunch of everything.
Can I tell you that, like you talk about with Tyler, like it's the same message that we hear. And the guy who, like for me, it hit the most was actually a guy that I'm hoping comes on in a couple of days. Just retired, Jake Diekman. So Jake had a lot of problems like consistently throwing strikes. And then 2 years ago, he goes to Tampa, and everyone's like, well, here's the ultimate test. And he had like a 1 ERA. It was crazy. And so I asked him, I said, okay, well, what's the difference? And he just said something as simple as, when you hear it from them, it just hits different. And I don't know if like that resonates for you too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And like, so, I mean, I got to Chicago and our pitching coach is huge on that because of the elements and because of our defense and stuff like that. And when you have people like our pitching coach has been around a long time, he's coached some great players. And when people of that stature, like sometimes a fresh voice and people with stature and a good reputation, when they tell you something, it's a little easier to buy in. And again, for me, like when I look behind me on the field, I'm on the mound all by myself, and I look behind and I see Dansby and Nico back there and PCA up the middle and Ian, and I'm just like, I'm going to throw strikes, man. I'm not going to beat myself. If you're going to beat me, you're going to have to really hit it hard in a gap or something, or over the fence, which people do off me, but I'm willing to take that risk.
That day, you mentioned PCA, that day that I gave you the sticker was a day I had talked to Pete PCA for about 8 minutes about sort of like he was finding his way, right? Like, and like what it should be appreciated is, and you can appreciate it maybe more than anybody actually playing on the diamond of what the whole package this guy is. Because at that time, that day, the day forever should be known as the day you put a sticker on your coffee maker, is that day was the day where I heard this guy talk for the first time. I said, listen, he doesn't have it all figured out, but he's trying to figure it out the right way.
Yep.
I mean, I'm just talking about my 8 minutes with him, but you can speak more to the player he has become, which has been an MVP candidate, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like you always knew he was going to run the bases and play great defense. So like his floor is a great, really solid big league player. And then, we would see his bat on the backfields and I would watch him take BP and you're like, oh shit, this kid might freaking rake. Like it's in there. It is in there. But like at the big league level, sometimes you just have to go through some struggles and then have success and say, I belong here. Like I could tell him all day, dude, you're so talented. Like I've played with way less talented guys who have really hit in the big leagues. And it's easy to hear that. That's another thing to go out there and actually like experience success for yourself and figure out what pitches you slug, what pitches you should lay off, like, how pitchers are going to attack you, your swing cues, what drills do you like to do every day when you show up at the yard? Like, it's for him, I think it was just like figuring it out, but he's got that like aura. I know kids are saying that word a lot these days. He's got the aura. Like he's got that it factor that like just not everyone has. Like he truly has that personality. Everyone wants to be around him. He's electrifying. Like the fans love him. He's super cool. Dresses super cool.
Yeah,
Like,
he had blue hair. I mean, like, it's
yeah.
like,
He's the only guy that can pull it off, but he's got that kind of it factor. So it's been really fun to watch him just blossom and figure it out.
so he was, I think, the 19th overall pick in 2020. You were the second overall pick in 2020, 10. And I know that this is a cliche question, but I still like asking guys who are picked that high about perspective, about what you would tell your younger self at that time. Because you don't have it all figured out. But when you're like, here we go,
Yeah.
here we go. I am a professional baseball player. Looking
Yep.
back at that time, because there's going to be a number 2 overall pick this year. Science would suggest that. What would you tell that number 2 overall pick who was going to be picked this year?
Well, first off, if I could go back to myself, it's interesting. Like I was picked in between Bryce Harper and Manny Machado, and for a while, like I took longer in the minor leagues than them. I had injuries. My career was a little bit delayed to start. And when I was drafted, I put all these timelines on myself. I want to debut by this age. I want to win this many games. I have this ERA, and it's like, you can't control a lot of that. And you grew up hearing that in baseball: control what you can control. And as I've gone through things over the years, I've just learned that like you really can only control your effort and your work ethic and being a good teammate. So I would just say to myself back then is like focus on the things you can control. Putting timelines and comparing yourself is the thief of joy. Everyone's on their own path. Everyone's on their own journey. And that's probably what I would say to someone getting drafted today is like everyone's journey is different. Figure out what works for you, figure out your routine, figure out your process, figure out the little things like what do you do in between pitches? What are your thoughts? What are your delivery cues? Like what do you need to focus on when you play catch? Like those are things you can control. Having a timeline and like, putting like a lot of extra unneeded pressure on yourself. There's already enough pressure being a first round draft pick. Putting that extra pressure is just nonsense.
By the way, thief of joy, man, that hits.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like for me, look, I could have the greatest finish to my career ever. And like, I'm never going to be Bryce Harper and Manny Machado. And I'm at peace with that. My job now is to be the best teammate possible, be a great player for the Cubs. Like I feel like I've been a lot happier ever since I stopped comparing myself. Like I'm really happy for those dudes. I got to know them in high school at events and stuff, but like I'll never be them and that's okay. I'm myself and I'm a great teammate and I bring it every day and I work really hard and that's perfectly okay too.
By the way, you're the best podcaster we have ever had on the podcast in a bar/bullpen as well.
They're out here doing our mound work. We've got the best grounds crew in the game.
Oh, it's people see that's what people don't understand. Like we see the Ivy, we see the Wrigley and everything else. We don't see that. Like, thank you for that. Thank you for.
This is pretty cool. I think we have one of the best bullpens in the league. So this is like our plyo wall. Some guys like to throw with the strings up. We've got another plyo thing if you want to throw them off the mound. Our mounds are awesome. You can blast music in here. It's pretty cool.
What would be what's your walk-in music?
I
Or
do "When the Levee Breaks" by Led Zeppelin.
ooh.
I love that song, and I've just had it since I was a rookie. I tried changing it when I got to the Cubs. I was like, we play so many day games here. I got to bring the vibes, and I got off to a really bad start. And I was like, I'm going back to the basics, back to Led Zeppelin.
So I demand our producer when I do the radio, every rejoin is Ace of Spades by Motorhead.
Oh yeah,
It's because I'm like, how can you not? It's like, how can you not like have the heart rate go through the roof?
I used to play that song on Guitar Hero back in the day.
You did?
Oh yeah.
Like that's how I honestly. Yeah, I don't. This is a documentary. I guarantee you probably have it. Are you a doc guy?
I am, but more of like a crime documentary guy.
Okay, so probably haven't seen this. It's about the air guitar world championships.
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
Oh yeah, you try to. It's a deep cut with the docs, but it's really really good. Air Guitar Nation is called, and that's what you realize. And as you just said, Ace of Spades Motorhead is the song that they go to.
Right.
It's like you throw. Like,
Yeah, it's awesome.
Just last thing about the sort of your path, and I sincerely congratulate you, man. Like you're having a great year, and you've had such a good career. For you, what is it? Because we're here to educate, inform, entertain, and all of it. But because I do hope that people listen and say, it's not always a straight path, and sometimes something somebody says just hits. For you, if you had to say something that, like a turning point, maybe there wasn't one turning point, but for you, what was the fork in the road moment for you?
I've had a couple. So one thing that the Pirates used to do that was really cool was they used to do, like, when I was in the minor leagues, they would bring over big leaguers to the minor league side just to do Q&As, like once a week at night, very informal, go if you want, not mandatory. And like, I would always go. I remember Garrett Jones. He was a power hitting lefty, awesome dude. He was really good friends coming up with Joe Mauer. And so I was like, what was Joe Mauer like? What was rooming with him in the minor leagues and stuff? And he was like, Joe Mauer was the most meticulous dude. Like, he knew exactly how much water he was putting in his body. He knew exactly what he wanted to focus on in the cage that day, exactly what pitch he was going to hit off that pitcher that night. And I remember hearing that. I was like 19 years old. And hearing that was like, oh shit, I'm doing this wrong. Like, I'm not. I thought I worked hard. I thought I was paying attention. So that was just like at a young age. That one kind of like hit for me where it was like, this is a job. Like, if I want to play at that level against grown men, like, I need to start treating my body and my routine like I'm a grown man and a professional. That one hit. What else? I had another one come to mind, and it's
Well,
escaping.
anything. Obviously, you've gone on a pretty good run here in the last few years. I don't know if it's just the evolution of you, or if there was something.
Yeah. So when I had this is kind of just like internal, but when I had my second Tommy John, I was very on the fence about even like wanting to play anymore. Like, internally, I don't even know if I told that many people that, but I was just like, dude, I've had cancer, I've had a hernia, I've had TJ already. Like, I've been hitting the head with line drives. I'm like, do I have it in me to do another grueling year or two of rehab? There's not that many guys at that point in time that had done two Tommy Johns. And COVID ended up happening, and I got to spend a lot of time just by myself, like working on things mechanically, rehab. I just did a lot by myself during COVID, and I like totally fell in love with baseball all over again in a whole different way. Like, in the curious way. Like, I'm curious how I can stay healthy. I'm curious how good I can be. Curious, where this can take me, and like that just ignited something inside of me that was a lot of fun. Like, it made baseball just really fun. Like, that rehab was much less about like hitting timelines and I got to throw this many throws on this day. It was all about like just going on this journey and seeing if I can recreate myself and stay on the field and be healthy. And so that to me was like a turning point for my career. And I think since my second Tommy John, I'm like, I don't know, top 20 in baseball in innings pitched and games started. And for me, like, again, I'm never going to have 100 more. Like, that's something I take a lot of pride in now is like taking the ball, pitching, going deep into games. That to me is being a good teammate. So, yeah, I think just like my second Tommy John was kind of a turning point.
That's awesome. I mean, so you look forward to going to work. I mean, it's like such a simple thing,
Yeah.
but you look forward to going to work. It's good.
Yeah. I just started viewing things as like, I don't know. I don't know why I wasn't doing this sooner, but I started viewing baseball in my career as this problem I needed to solve in a fun way. Like, oh man, my delivery is feeling off. Instead of getting stressed and going crazy about it, it's like, well, what can I do in the gym today to make my back leg feel more involved? What can I do in catch play? Like, let me collaborate with the strength coaches and the PTs and the pitching coaches and see, like, can I throw plyos and medicine balls today to make something click? And it just became this like fun little game I play every day. Like I show up and it's just so fun to try to solve a problem.
But by the way, you saying that it hit so hard. And this is one, honestly, I'm not just saying this. This is one of the reasons I love doing this because a couple days ago, I sat down with Charlie Morton and he had a line and he said, if they give you the opportunity to figure it out, then figure it out.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like,
I love Charlie, by the way. He was a pirate. He was always like so nice to me when I was just a stupid young buck. So he's always been great.
It's great. So he's been on the podcast a few times, and what's great is that you ask him a question and there's a pause, and you're like, "Oh shit, is he pissed at me?" Like, and then
he's one of the most thoughtful.
Then there's a 5-minute answer coming around the corner. But that is like, it's like if they give you the opportunity to figure it out, then figure it out, and that's exactly what you did. I mean, that's what you seemingly do every day. So yeah.
It's funny how sometimes like this really simple. So this is now it's starting to spark things. So I was in high A, 2012. I didn't have I threw strikes. I was having an okay year, but I didn't have like great command, and I'd get really frustrated in my bullpens. And my pitching coach one time was like, "Where are you trying to throw that fastball?" I was like, "I'm trying to throw it down and away." He's like, "Then effing do it. Throw the fastball down and away. Quit trying. Quit." He's like, "Just do it. Tell your body to do it. Like, quit manipulating your delivery. Quit making this some big, just go out there and do it." And ever since then, that's kind of like my command has been a lot better later in my career. And that's like a thought. It's like, when I want to get the sweeper down and away, just get it down and away. Like, I know it's not that simple. There's human error, but like that was one of those things too, where it was like, I don't have to get my big toe involved in my delivery. I need to find a way to get this pitch there. Let's go do it right here.
So good. I'm fired up now. Well, I just realized looking at myself, I have more baseballs and boring stuff than I think. And I have a T-shirt. I have a thing. I have a thing. And by the way, if you win the World Series, we'll pay for your tattoo.
Yeah, I don't have any.
You don't? Well,
no.
Yeah. So this was done. This was a whole thing. If the Dodgers won the World Series, and Joe Kelly and I got baseballs and boring tattoos.
Sick.
Yeah.
If we won the World Series, I'd be more than happy to get a freaking tattoo. I need that.
Well, and by the way, the guy who does it is the guy, Mr. Cartoon, who only does Eminem and Beyonce, and now when you win the World Series.
Let's go.
So, but thanks so much, man. It's been a joy. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I could sit around and talk ball all day. I love it. So this was fun.